Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your favorite Chess Journal YouTube channel. I hope everyone is doing great, and today we have logged onto chess24.com. Let's look for a game. Let's look for an opponent. Let's see what pieces we get. Okay, so we got white pieces. So what are we gonna play today? I've been playing d4 often. Now today I'm gonna play c4, the English opening. And what is the stats? Our opponent, Brandon Boss, 1877, from Mexico. And this guy is an upper intermediate level player, as you can tell. So we played c4, they played knight f6. Now, what are we gonna play? We in c4 opening, we play after c4 usually. We play knight c3. That's what we have just played. And now they played e6, and usually we fianchetto this light square bishop here. And there are many ways to continue the game. Question is, what am I gonna play today? Okay, I'll go d3. The objective of that move is to develop my dark square bishop, and they're playing fast. d5. Sorry for the lag. The computer, some kind of upgrade is ongoing behind the screen. Now they immediately strike in the center, d5. Let's capture. And they have captured with a pawn. Now, what is my aim in this case, or strategy gonna be, is that we see this isolated pawn here, so probably I'm gonna target on here, but they might play c6 and strengthen up. So yeah, let's pin the knight first, as we talked about it. Yeah, this is an option. And how do we stop that one? Knight f3 doesn't help because of the queen. You see, from experience, I'm worried about this this pawn push they might have in the center. So I'm just gonna play e3, and I'm just trying to play sensibly. Okay, so they have developed their dark square bishop, bishop e7. And now I think we need to focus on development as well, knight f3. Here in this setup, or in this game, we're not going to fianchetto our light square bishop, so they have just castled, and we're just going to develop our light square bishop here. Position is, I believe, equal, due to the fact that we both of us are developed. We're slightly behind development. I mean, castling. Okay, so the dark square bishop is challenged. So let's pull the bishop one square back. And we don't want to give up the dark square bishop now. And now they played bishop g4. If you guys can recall, from all the queen's pawn game or queen's pawn opening that here in this channel I have talked about many times, pattern recognition. So you see the bishop used to reside in this square, right? And what it is to do, it is to guard this pawn. So this bishop has now moved here. So as far as pattern is concerned, we can now come here with our queen to b3 square and target this pawn. And they seem to be playing quite fast, and that's a good move. Let's keep the tension for a while. Let's castle. And knight bd7. Okay. Knight bd7. Okay, he wants to come here. Does he? Okay, if he does, then we will have to exchange queens. What else? Okay, I'm gonna force exchange of light square bishops. Let me put the knight here in the middle. Do d4 square. And if bishop takes bishop, then I'm gonna retake with this knight, because this knight is not doing anything. Why isn't the pre-move is working? Okay, so that's what happened. This is just a straight shot 15 minutes game, no increment. So I gotta be a bit careful, not to mention that some kind of lag is going on here. Now they have dived in the center with their knight to e5 square. And now what? So they are attacking this pawn, d3 pawn. So how can... Okay, instead of defending this pawn, like, you know, which comes first thing to do in the mind, instead of that, we are simply going to counter attack. So let's play knight f5 and tag the bishop. So offense is the best defense, they say. That's what we are following. And what could be another offensive move here? Complicated now. It is complicated. Okay, I'm gonna defend the pawn by pushing the pawn. d4, that's the easy route. Come on, computer, why are you giving me lag? Don't you know that I'm recording for my viewers? Be nice. Thank you guys for tuning in, and once again, welcome to your favorite Chess Journal YouTube channel. And if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing and support the growth of this channel. Now they have pulled their knight back to g6 square. And now what? So that's actually attacking our dark square bishop. So let's put the bishop back. Okay, now they have this one. They're playing very well. We have to keep an eye that our knight is, unguarded. And did you notice that we both are keeping the tension of exchanging queens? Okay, as anticipated, they have dived in. And that attacks our bishop. I guess we have to give up the dark square bishop. because the threat is here to come up with a royal fork. So we need to defend this square. Okay, let's play queen c2. And let's see what they have to play. What is our plan? Maybe one of the rooks in the open file. Now they have played bishop c7. Yeah, let's just get rid of the dark square bishop. Now, okay, simple strategy. This knight is residing in our camp, just kick it out. That's a pesky knight. Look at that, enjoying this super duper outpost and chilling out. And get rid of the knight. You dare chilling out in my camp? Okay. We can open up in the center. Yeah, let's play e4. Let's remove this capture. Should it happens? Should it happen? Sooner or later, we need to open up in one area of the board here. Definitely opening up in the center makes a lot of sense. Now they are, is that an attack? Not really. This is guarded. Let's put a defender to this pawn. I mean multiple defender, although the knight is defending the pawn, and also thereby developing our rook. Maybe this one. We're not doing well in clock time speaking. Okay. Let's stop their dark square axis here. And now what? Nothing to see here, I believe. Okay, this pawn is attacked. A2. Let's play EA3. Complicated game, isn't it? That's what happens when you progress with your rating. You usually don't get any straight shot, crash bang wallop, as Grandmaster Simon Williams said. And okay, this knight is to guard this square. Not anymore. So we can dive in here with our knight and attack the queen. And they immediately played queen g4. Let's target this pawn. Everything is defended for the time being. Playing queen b3 also allows us to push this pawn further up. That's gonna further weaken their structure. I'm just praying that they don't see. So they're concerned about defending this pawn. And okay, so they didn't, I think they saw this one, this push. And now what? Should we take no, because our knight is attacked multiple times. So let's better get rid of that knight and see what they have to play. So they took with the rook. Now we can safely win this pawn. After all, a pawn is a pawn. Now we are a pawn up, and thereby doing slightly better. Also, not to mention that this f7 weakness is a weakness. So they have to play either queen d7 or rook d7 to stop that. If rook d7, maybe we can grab this pawn. Quite an interesting game. So I think queen d7 is the best move, so that we don't take this pawn. If queen d7, probably we will exchange queens because we are already a pawn up. Quite an interesting positional battle. Okay, what is that? I didn't expect them to play queen e6 because that allows us to grab this pawn. And rook e d8. Let's again put pressure on this pawn. As well as defend this one. So they are behind this pawn. Okay, but I think we can win this pawn. So how have you guys been doing? How's your chess going? Please let me know down in the comment section below. Thanks for all the views that I'm receiving from you guys. You guys are the best. And okay, so takes, no. Okay, is there any tactics? I can smell some kind of tactic. So takes. Okay, let's first attack the queen. Force the queen to go away from this square, I mean light squares. Okay, queen could come here though. And then we'll put the rook to c1. That is the plan. They are having the time advantage, and we are having the material advantage. In this case, a pawn. I mean, these two are passed pawns, not to mention. So these are the small but very important advantages we are currently enjoying. They have played very well though, not to mention. Now, what are they calculating? Maybe where to put the queen? Is that the one they are calculating? Or we can, if the queen goes here, then we could put the rook here, right? This rook. And then focus on this pawn push. We talked about it earlier. Yeah, that seems to be a good plan. Okay, so they went there, queen g5. Okay, this is a check there. Okay, straight shot. Let's take the rook. Okay, so they have this one. Yeah, that's what they played. Okay, probably miscalculated, but nothing to be worried of. Let's put the king to h1. Stay on the light square. Now queen takes rook is the best one, and now stay on the light squares. Push the pawn. I know this pawn is falling, but we have a check now. And this pawn is under fire. Okay, why not attack the rook? If the queen goes away from this file, the rook falls. So they are attacking our, but isn't that a mistake? We have a check with the queen, with the rook. Let's activate our rook here. Okay, we need to have light square access. How do we do that? Let's attack the rook and thereby have this light square access. So they have to be very careful now, because our queen is penetrating on the light squares. They have to be very careful. I mean, playing queen a7 is the best move. Question is, do they see it? Because why queen a7? Because of this rank. They have weakness in the 7th rank as well as on the light squares. We are currently performing the light square action or penetrating their light square weakness. This was an interesting game. Not to mention, even if I lose on time, I wouldn't regret, because the way I played it, found the good moves. Now they have attacked our queen. Tactics. This check, and then it comes here, right? Okay, hang on a second. The principle of checkmate is to take away the squares from the king, right? If we play queen e8, that is gonna take away this square from their king, and this is the checkmate. So are you guys with me? So let's follow the principle of checkmate. And also I had to make sure that they do not have perpetuals. By here we have dot squares. They don't have dot square access at the moment with their queen, so there is no perpetual. So we have checkmate fret at the moment. What is their best move? They need to focus on this square. because there we are gonna go. So how to stop that one? Simply by playing G5, because then rook goes, queen takes rook. And in that case, if G5 happens, we have queen E7 check. Or rook F7. I think queen E7 is better. Because they have to defend with the queen, and then we're gonna win the rook after the end of the transaction. Or yeah, this is really an interesting and high level game that we have played today, thankfully. Don't you worry, guys. I mean, if whether you could see these moves or not, as soon as you cross, I don't know, maybe 1700 rating points, should be able to calculate the way I have calculated here. And this video is definitely gonna be helpful for you guys. If I were you, and if my rating is below 1700, I would have probably watched this video again and again to get used to of the way the game is being played. Strategical, very much a strategical game. Okay, so they have resigned, and yeah, we talked about it, why they have resigned, because they didn't find this one move. Okay, even if they played here, we have a check, and how are they going to, I mean, if they do not want to block, say for example they play queen to G6, then we have this queen F7, and that is checkmate. So if queen to G7, then we have this queen takes rook. So that's the reason why they have resigned the game. A beautiful game, a beautiful high-level game we have played. Okay, let's quickly review the game. This was an English opening. We opened with C4. They played knight F6, knight C3, developing E6, and now D3, control on this square, D5, attacking or breaking in the center, captures, recaptures with the pawn, and now bishop to G5, pinning the knight, C6, putting a defender on this pawn, and E3. Remember, I talked about it during the game. I was worried about this pawn push, so that's the reason why I had to play E3, because that's how I'm comfortable. Bishop E7, developing of the dot square bishop, and now knight to F3, development of the knight, castles, and we developed our light square bishop, and H6 attacking our dot square bishop, and we pulled our bishop back, bishop G4. Maybe that's a developing move, and queen to B3. Remember we talked about it, the pattern recognition, attacking the pawn, queen B6. That's a good move. We kept the tension, didn't exchange queens, rather we focused on development castles, and knight bd7, further developing move. And from this point in time, the game turned into an interesting strategical battle. First of all, we put the knight in the middle, because thereby forcing the light square bishop, I mean, not, yeah, forcing, kind of like forcing the light square bishop, and also improving our this knight. I didn't explain it properly during the game. Not to mention that I'm still suffering from the lag, and time was a thing. Now, once the capture happens, bishop takes bishop, and then now we get to improve our this knight's positioning, because this knight is not doing a great deal here, but this square, it has got a lot of potentials. And knight to e5, jumping in the middle, and that's a good move. And we that was actually, I think I explained it during the game, that was actually attacking this pawn, after queen takes queen, pawn takes queen, and then knight takes pawn. That was their plan. But instead we jumped here on the f5 square to attack their dark square bishop. This is a good strategy you must follow as you progress in your chess ratings. If you're, for example, if you have calculated that this pawn is falling, why don't you come up with a counter-attacking move? And this one is a counter-attacking move, gaining a tempo on the dark square bishop. So bishop had to go back to d8 square, and now this was our weakness. So we pushed our weakness further one square up, attacking the knight. So knight went to g6, attacking our dark square bishop, and we preserved our dark square bishop by pulling it one square back. Knight e4, jumping in the middle again, attacking our not only dark square bishop, but the problem is this is the first glance you probably would catch, but you always need to focus on that. Okay, hang on a second. After this, where can this go? Okay, then you realize, oh my God, they have knight d2. That is a royal fork. I mean, instead of the king here, we have got a rook, so that's kind of royal fork. So we have to save the queen, definitely. Queen c2 and bishop c7. And I was happy to see that move, because I was expecting them that they're gonna capture this dark square bishop. I was slightly worried, and I was happy to see that move. So bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop. And now this is the simple strategy we always follow. Get rid of these knight's positioning here in our camp. I was chilling out here, so they don't like it. So I force the bishop back to d6 square and get rid of the knight. That knight was their strong piece. Now queen takes knight, and after that we need to play the breaking move. If you are an intermediate level player, you have to find the breaking moves right on right time. So this is the correct time to play the breaking moves. E4 and D4, Fe4, and Rook Fe8, lining up against this pawn. Although it's guarded with our queen, so we have to activate one of our inactivate pieces, in this case the A rook. So we put it behind this pawn, so multiple defenders, so that our knight can move if required to g3, guarding this pawn multiple times. Rook A d8, putting a lot of pressure here. And now we asked a question to the queen. So queen went to e6, targeting or aiming this pawn, and we had to play a free and knight e7. That was a good maneuvering move, because that knight was not doing a great deal, but that knight also used to guard this square, so we immediately took the advantage of that one and placed our knight there, f4 square, attacking the queen. So queen came to g4. Now this was a good move, I must say, because the queen used to, okay, let's go back. So queen used to guard this square, and now we can take advantage using this simple same strategy. What the opponent's latest move is doing and not doing. So it used to guard this square. Now we came here targeting this pawn. This knight is guarded. So how to defend? So they deployed the same strategy, not defending here but to counterattack. So we had to react, takes, rook takes, and now we win a pawn with our queen. So from this moment in time, we have gained a pawn, material advantage. Now queen e6 was played. I was surprised because queen d7 was the best move as far as I'm concerned. Now this pawn is also falling, so why not? We are a couple of pawns up. Rook e d8 lining up here. So we played queen a4, defending as well as keeping an eye on this pawn, multi-purpose move. And queen g4. Queen g4 was actually a tricky move. Here you can see here 1, 2, 3 attackers. To this pawn we've got 1, 2 defenders. So they're about to launch something here. So we cannot defend this one at any cost. So we had no other choice but to capture this pawn. Yeah, okay, they win this one, but we found this move h3, asking a question to their queen, because we're not concerned of our rook when we can attack their queen. So we attack their queen. So we queen moved to g5, and now we played rook takes rook, getting rid of a pair of rook. So rook takes back. Oh, okay, sorry, they gave us check, and we tucked our king onto the light square. Because why the light square? Why not h2? Because the queen is residing on the dark square. So remember this, guys. Wherever your opponent's queen is staying, stay focused. If that's light square or dark square, place your king in the opposite square. So queen takes d4, and now we pushed this pawn further 1 square up, because this pawn was attacked. That was a weak pawn, right? So why not use this weak pawn into causing some kind of damage in their structures? That's what we did. We pushed the pawn to e6. This is a high-level thinking, and if you guys are intermediate level players, try to imply this on your games, and surely you guys gonna do better. And once f e6, we now have a check. King to h8. Notice that they went on the dark square, and now we placed our queen here. Notice that they cannot still take this pawn. That's the reason we put our queen here. Our aim is to come up with this rook here. Rook d7 attacked our queen, but we always look for check captures threat. So yeah, that's a counter-attacking move. King h7. Now the king is in the light square. So how do we get light square access? By placing the queen on e6, rook to d6, attacking our queen again. And here we found this brilliant square, queen e8, whereby our threat is to go here and deliver checkmate. So how to stop that? They have to play g6, and I'm going to stop it right here, guys, because I have explained this part during the game. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know how you guys enjoy this game, and till the next time, take care of yourself. Bye bye.